over a week after the Muthoot burglary in Tirupur, cops cracked the case. 2 accused have been arrested. The AIDMK government reopens the phone tapping case under the previous regime, appoints a special public prosecutor to handle this case. Activists staged protests over the rejection of a candidate's nomination for the civic polls, citing her hearing impairment. State Election Commissioner hints at tweaking laws.
கனிவுடன் பரிசீலிக்க வேண்டிய கோரிக்கை, அதற்காக வேண்டி உரிய சட்ட திருத்தத்துக்கு ஏற்பாடு செஞ்சிருக்கிறோம். உரிய சட்ட திருத்தம் வந்து நடைமுறைப்படுத்தும்.
Opposition parties in Puducherry demand a CBI probe into allegations that the Education Minister used a proxy to clear his Class 10 exams. City cops in overdrive against invoke fancy number plates. 56,000 cases booked. College students and political party men are the biggest offenders. 2 dead and 1 injured and an entire building razed to the ground after an explosion in the firecracker unit in Virdanagar. A 28-year-old newly married woman commits suicide in Talmani after alleged torture by her husband and the in-laws. And the mighty Super Kings humbled again, this time by Trinidad and Tobago. Will luck help them avoid a first-round exit? A very good evening. You're watching News Tonight. I'm Ashmit Kumar. Over the course of the next few minutes, I'll bring to you the top stories from around the city and the country. And speaking of the top stories, let's take a look at developments pouring in from across the nation. The government sticks to its 32 rupees a day poverty line, but says there will be no cap for social sector benefits. TRS Chief Chandrasekhar Rao will meet the Prime Minister on Telangana issue. The Prime Minister also meets Congress MPs and MLAs. The CBI raids the house of an MLA close to Reddy Brothers in Bellary. Jindal Steel deny any raids on their plants. Following NDTV's report of euthanasia plea by terminally ill patient, gets help from Rajya Sabha MP. And finally, after days of rumours, Shane Warne himself confirms he's engaged to Liz Hurley. Well, first up, Tirupur Muthoot burglary has been cracked. Accused persons, in fact, have been arrested, numbering 2. Now, in all, over 100 persons were interrogated by different special teams constituted by the district police following the robbery, in which as many as much, in fact, as 1,381 sovereigns of gold jewellery were looted from the branch office on September 24th. Now, the fact that the crime was committed without disturbing the furniture on the office premises and the recovery of electronic gadgets that were robbed from some employees of the firm had given concrete leads to the police during their investigations. And one in fresh twist to the phone tapping case, the AIDMK government has appointed a special public prosecutor to conduct a CBCID probe into the case. Now, the state government has appointed A.N. Thambidurai, an advocate in the Madras High Court, as the special public prosecutor. Now, the tapes which were leaked by A. Shankar, a special assistant in the Directorate of Vigilance and Anti-Corruption, or otherwise known as DVAC, to the media, had a former Chief Secretary L.K. Tripathi instructing the then DVAC Chief S.K. Upadhyay to explore the possibilities of making out a cognizable case against Jayalalitha in her purchasing the Kodunad estate. Now, interestingly, it was the leakage of this conversation that hinted at possible intentions of the previous DMK government to target the Chief Minister Jayalalitha through a corruption case. Well, in a move now that has caused outrage amongst members of the civil society, the nomination of a differently abled person to contest in the upcoming polls has been rejected. A 27-year-old woman, Kavita, was hoping to contest from a village in Vilupuram district, but her political aspirations were squashed due to hearing impairment. Now, in the latest development, the State Election Commission, while on the back foot, has shifted the buck to the government, appealing to the government to reform the relevant legal provisions to allow Kavita to contest. Now, earlier in the day, dozens of rights activists confronted the State Election Commission and demanded an explanation for the rejection of the nomination. Now, meanwhile, the Federation of Tamil Nadu Physically Handicapped Association is also considering legal options. However, sources within the Election Commission have confirmed that Kavita will only be able to contest in the next edition of the polls.
தேர்தல் ஆணையத்துக்கு முறையிட்டிருக்காங்க. அவங்க மாற்றுத்திறனாளிகள் பேரு ஏற்கனவே உள்ள ஊராட்சி சட்டத்தில் செவிட்டு ஊமைகள் அப்படின்னு இருக்கிறத ஆட்சேபித்து இப்ப மனு கொடுத்திருக்கிறாங்க. இதற்கான சட்ட திருத்தம் கேட்டு ஆணையம் அரசுக்கு ப்ரொபோசல் கொடுத்திருக்கிறாங்க. அது வந்து அரசினுடைய பரிசீலனையில் இருக்கு. நகர்ப்புற சட்டங்கள்ல தொடுநோயாளிகள் வந்து போட்டியிட முடியாதுன்னு இருக்கு, கலந்துக்க முடியாதுன்னு இருக்கு. அதற்கான சட்ட திருத்தம் விரைவில் அனுப்பி வைக்கப்படும். இந்த மனுவை தொடர்ந்து நடவடிக்கை எடுப்பதற்கு ஆணையம் விரைவாக அனைத்து நடவடிக்கைகளையும் மேற்கொள்ள இருக்கிறது என்ற தகவலை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன்.
It's very disappointing to note the commissioner who is saying here we'll have a talk with you and please come upstairs, and he never entertained any of our deliberations. He just took our application and he has just gone up, and it very clearly says, and he's saying that no, we will propose to the government and we will propose for an amendment in the Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly, which means very indirectly on, and in fact I would say it's directly as well, that Kavita's candidature will not be possible and it will not go through, which means it stands cancelled.
அவங்க வந்து சொல்லியிருக்கிற கோரிக்கை நியாயமான கோரிக்கை தான். அவங்க சொல்கிற கோரிக்கை நியாயமான கோரிக்கை. அந்த கோரிக்கை வந்து மிக தனிவுடன் பரிசீலிக்க வேண்டிய கோரிக்கை. அதற்காக வேண்டி உரிய சட்ட திருத்தத்துக்கு ஏற்பாடு செஞ்சுருக்கிறோம். உரிய சட்ட திருத்தம் வந்து நடைமுறைப்படுத்தும்.
Now, in a new twist to politics of Puducherry, Education Minister of Puducherry seems to have got himself stuck between what he believes is political vendetta versus alleged claims of educational malpractices. Sam Daniel brings to us this report.
Did Puducherry's education minister try to pull a fast one on Tamil Nadu's education department? PML Kalyana Sundaram allegedly sent someone else to write a science exam after he decided to take the 10th standard examinations as a private candidate in a Tamil Nadu center, 20 years after he dropped out of a school. Now Tamil Nadu has ordered a probe.
Complaint illa nam show mota nam verification பண்றோம் அவ்வளவுதான். Just verifying, we are verifying.
The Puducherry school education minister refused to speak on camera but denies sending a proxy. He blames it on politics behind the allegation and that he would handle it legally. Recently, the Puducherry Chief Minister K. Rangaswamy refused to give cabinet berths to AIADMK MLAs, even though he won the elections in alliance with Amma. Is it political vendetta, or is the minister really guilty of malpractice? While the probe will soon reveal the truth, either way, it seems to be a new low. With Palaniswamy in Puducherry, Sam Daniel, Prime TV.
In other updates now, 2 people were killed and 1 other was injured in an explosion at a fireworks manufacturing unit at a village near Sattur in Virudunagar district today. Now, the victims were employees of the cracker manufacturing unit. Now, all the injured were rushed to a nearby hospital. The impact of the explosion was such that the cracker manufacturing unit was completely gutted and was razed to the ground. Now, fire service personnel rushed to the spot to take up rescue work. Now, the 28-year-old woman who committed suicide at her residence in Taramani on Friday was allegedly being tortured by her husband and the in-laws. Now, the Velachery police arrested victim's husband Dinesh, his father Muthu and mother Sasikala on charges of abetment to suicide. Now, police say that Revati and Dinesh married 4 months back. Allegedly, after a heated argument, Revati took the extreme step and hung herself from the ceiling. An RDO inquiry was initiated on Friday. Today, the police arrested the trio and lodged them at the Poodle prison. Now, so far this year, the Chennai Traffic Police has booked 56,000 cases against vehicle owners who had fitted fancy number plates on their vehicles. Now, a fine amount of 50 rupees is being collected from each motorist who is found guilty of the offence. Now, a senior police officer told NDTV-HINDU that majority of fancy number plates were being found on 2-wheelers of college students and cars belonging to functionaries of political parties. Now, in Chennai city alone, on an average, 10,000 cases are being booked every day for various traffic violations. But we're heading into a very short break now. We'll be back with lots more updates on the other side. Keep watching.